Okay, one of the use cases that Hannah has is that she would like to keep track of her orders using the information system. So we know that customers can place orders and that we know an order is for a product, right? Someone orders a princess cake, that's an order. So for example, our customer Ian Lander orders a circus cake. We want to be able to put that order into our system so that we can inform our bakers of what they need to be baking for a day, so we can collect our money, so we can manage our order processing. So in order to do this, it's going to be multiple steps. In this video, I'm going to show you how to go ahead and update your database to keep track of orders. So let's think about what kind of data we want to capture for the order. So of course, we want the customer, and we want what product they ordered. The other thing that we're going to capture is the order date, the date that the order was placed, and the pickup date, the date the customer is going to come to Hannah's cake shop to pick up their cake or their lemonade or whatever it is that they've ordered. The other thing that we're going to add is something called an order number. Think of this as like a primary key for the order. It'll uniquely identify each order. It's almost like if you go to the old style diner and they have the little notepad where the waiter takes the order and then they tear it off and give it to the chef. And a lot of times those orders have like a little number up in the corner. That's going to be like our order number. All right, let's get into Mendix and I'll show you how to set up the database side of this. So you want to go into your domain model. So here in my first model, double click on domain model. And you can see we've got the customer entity and we've got the product entity. So we're going to now go add an entity for order. I'm going to click that and drag it right out here. And we'll double click on that entity. The name of the entity is going to be order. Remember, our standard is all uppercase and singular, not plural. And then for the attributes, let's start with that order number. So I'm going to say new, and it's going to be called order number. And for the data type, it defaulted to integer, which is just like, you know, not a fraction, not a decimal, just like a whole number. But I'm actually going to use something different. I'm going to use what's called auto number. And what auto number will do, you can read through this if you want, but I'll tell you, auto number will go ahead and the very first row that gets created out there will be assigned 1. The next row will be automatically assigned 2, then 3, then 4. And the database system in Mendix will keep track of the last order number assigned and then just assign the next one available. This way, Hannah doesn't have to keep track of the order number, and we can guarantee that it'll be unique. There'll never be a duplicate. So we'll say, okay. The second attribute that we're going to add is going to be the pickup, or let's do order date. Order date, and we can see Mendix was smart. It defaulted to date and time, and that is perfect for us. Get the edits and our date picker at the end. And the next attribute is going to be our pickup date. And again, Mendix is smart. It defaults to date and time, and we'll say, okay. And we'll say, okay. Now, this is all we need to do to add to the order. And you might be thinking, wait a minute, didn't we have to have the customer that placed the order and the product? Well, here's how we do this when we're coding an app. We are going to go ahead and make an association between customer and order. And if we think back to databases, the type of association that this is going to be, our cardinality, is going to be a one-to-many. Right? So a customer can place many orders, but an order is placed by only one customer. So to do that, we're going to just, super easy, of course, in Mendix. See how there's like that little circly, that little kind of circle right there as I drag along the border here. I'm going to come right to here. And once that circle is there, I'm just going to hold down my right click. And then I'm going to drag. And I'm going to drag a line out to customer. Haha. And check this out. And that creates our relationship. And we can see from the little cardinalities, the one and the little asterisk is how Mendix shows many. So let's just test it out, right? A customer can have multiple orders. Yes, that's right. And an order belongs to one customer. Now, we learned that all relationships should be ordered or should be named. Mendix just kind of names them based on the name of the entities. And that's okay. That works for us as well. So let's go ahead and add the relationship between order and product, right? An order is going to be for a product, but a product can be contained in multiple orders, right? So we have our pirate cake. It's not like you order a pirate cake once and it's done, right? You can order many different orders could include a pirate cake. So let's go ahead and add that association. And again, it's just drawing the line. The only tricky thing, and of course it's critical, is you've got to get your cardinality going the right way. So let's test it. A product can be included in multiple orders, but an order is for a specific product. Now, this is a little bit of a limitation that we have in not Mendix, but in just our learning path right here. In reality, this is probably more of a many-to-many relationship, right? You want an order to be able to contain more than one product. Not a limitation so much in Mendix, of course, but more just our learning and how deep we're going to get into Mendix. So for right now, just to keep it simple, our orders are only going to include one product. And you'll see why when we start to code it. Of course, if you do more advanced work with Mendix, you'll learn how to support those many-to-many relationships. Another thing that might go wrong is I'm going to take this and delete it. If you draw this in the wrong direction, say like this, right? This would say a product could only be in one order, but an order contains multiple products. That's backwards. See that one and that multiple are backwards? The easiest way to do it is just to delete it. It's so simple, so fast. Always start from the many side and draw to the one side. All right, we've got it then. Okay, so that's how you set up the database to accommodate orders.